Perfect.
But with us, we are being managed by the Teacher Service Commission, who is the employer of teachers.
Yeah.
And we are being so realistic. In 2021, you remember when we were asked by the government to consider not to have pay rise against all odds of the price index, which had also shot up because of inflation. We were persuaded not to ask for pay, given the excuse that there was COVID. And that COVID is not there. We perform above expectation, irrespective of the fact that we have the challenges of the economic hardships which are there. So we have been so realistic. So I don't understand our unrealistic bit from where he sits.
All right.
Yes.
Now, this is the first time the government has failed to disburse funds to counties on time and a delayed payment of salaries to civil servants. You hinted on a possible strike should the government not pay you on time, and that is once the schools reopen. Have there been developments since? Have you had talks maybe with your employer, that is the Teachers Service Commission, or maybe just the government?
Fortunately, teachers are not the ones who were affected by delayed salaries in the previous month. That is fortunately. But what we were trying to address were many things related to our pay. That our pay was the net was paid, but the gross of the pay was not realized because the money which was supposed to be paid for pension was not remitted. The third-party deductions which go to banks, to our SACCOs, were not remitted. These ones now expose the teachers and therefore the workers. Those are the reasons which would make us to even go on the streets. For the mere fact that the salaries have delayed may not necessarily elicit such kind of action. But when we are enlisted by CRBs and we are also attached in terms of a non-performing loan repayment, then we are left with no option. And therefore we call the tool of last resort that we now withdraw labor. So that is what we meant, yes.
Now, speaking about that, in this year's Labor Day celebration on matters pay and teachers' interests at large, have your needs been met?
It is a blunt no, our needs have not been met. I did indicate that we were supposed to review our collective bargaining midterm in 2023. And this is the year which has brought in all the challenges that you can imagine. So our expectations are not met, but we still hope that time is not yet over. The Teacher Service Commission still have a window to engage us. And we don't fear to engage because by our nature we are created to negotiate. And that is what we expect. We can only threaten to disagree and go and withdraw labor as a tool of last resort. That one we are ready to do, but it has not reached that limit. We met the National Governing Council yesterday. That is not one of the conditions they considered, but they gave us an option to pursue the social dialogue route so that we get to where we can get something from the government. Yeah.
Now, Akelo, from your own point of view, this is last year's Labor Day celebrations. The retired President Uhuru Kenyatta increased the minimum wage by 12%, and that meant that the lowest paid public servant was being paid 13,572 and was increased to 15,201 Kenya shillings. This year, there's no an increment in that minimum wage. What's your take on that from your own point of view now as a union leader? And not speaking for your employer, that is TSC.
This situation is sad. You know, considering that inflation has really shot up. Remember, now we cannot even make trips. If we, like union leaders, we cannot make, when we make trips outside, the dollar is very weak. It's very strong against the Kenya shilling.
Yeah.
And that means that our workers, when they walk to buy anything from the shop, leave alone unga, which is a real issue, transport has really escalated. Almost everything has escalated. So workers are really in very tight corner. And that one requires some consideration in terms of a pay rise of sorts, and which has failed. It has today's meeting, having requested the president in February to attend our meeting, we thought that his coming was going to be a relief, but it has proved to be disastrous because he has not given us as we expected. What he has told us was basically that we should expect the self price of unga to improve once in 4 months' times when maize has been harvested. So that one is not salary.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, let's divert a little bit from the Labor Day celebrations. Now, since the implementation of the competency-based curriculum, that is the CBC, has it proved effective? I remember you, as KUPET, you were against it. And I would want to know if there's any change of mind yet. How are your teachers coping? Is everything that is needed to make this curriculum successful been done so far?
Remember, KUPET supported competency-based curriculum, support to competency-based curriculum, because we are part and parcel of the committee which was tasked with the review of the curriculum. And following so much debate about 844 and its attendant failures, what we did not accept was the mode of transition. We did indicate that transition was supposed to be, this was a secondary school curriculum, so it was supposed to be housed in the secondary school environment. But against all odds, the government chose a public opinion poll to domicile it in primary schools, with all the infrastructure issues which have not been addressed, with the teething problem of staffing, and then the capacity of the teachers at that level. We had considered that the late Magoha had already taken 2 years to build about 10,000 classrooms to admit the junior secondary cohort in grade 7. But this one, maybe because it became severely politicized and it was brought to a public participation, which therefore the president made a ruling through the working party that let it be domiciled there. So the whole thing has been shrouded in all the difficulties that you can imagine. As a teacher, I felt that this is where the experts were supposed to make serious, their decision was supposed to be taken to be gospel truth, so that the domiciling was supposed to take advantage of the existence of day schools that we have, and most likely to have it in secondary schools which had some semblance of infrastructure and already existing staff which were already prepared through induction to accommodate them. But there were a lot of issues here and there from parents saying that the cost was too much, teachers were demanding an alliance to be brought to class. Those are things which I think made the decision to be made in a political manner, which has now made the whole system not to start, to have a very good start. Yeah.
All right, now as we wind up, Akelo, from here, from today, from this year's Labor Day celebration, what do you want the government and your employer to do in order to ensure that your needs are met and teachers' working conditions are improved?
It goes without saying that it is the responsibility of the employer to guarantee motivation to the workers. In our case, we expect the Teacher Service Commission to put pressure from the national kitty, the treasury, to allocate sufficient funds to ensure that we have sufficient number of teachers in our schools, and those teachers should be paid well. So those are the irreducible minimum. Yeah. If they don't do that, they don't expect miracles from teachers. Professionals are supposed not to beg to be given tools for work. We are key in terms of what we are doing for the country, because education is the base of every aspect of the economy. If we don't address it, we cannot get a good anchor like Anne. If we don't have it, we cannot have good doctors or lawyers or teachers or even economists. So this is something which must be prioritized. Yes.
All right, should we assume that as your parting shot, or do you have something more to add as we close now the discussion?
There's no shortcut. There's no shortcut in addressing the teacher issues. Yeah, we have got challenges that now the government chose to domicile it in private schools. They must employ more than 70,000 teachers, because that is what will make, because next year we will have a cohort going to grade 8.
Right.
Yeah, and then the other year it will be grade 9. If they still insist that it is in primary school, it is going to be totally chaotic. So that is what we must have. You cannot have workers and you don't pay them well. You must pay them well so that they deliver. Even animals we keep like cows, we give them a very good grass, we treat them, and we don't shout at them. That's when we can get milk. That is what you can get from teachers. Yes.
Thank you so much for making time for us.
Thank you.
We really appreciate and honor your time here with us tonight.
It is great to be at KUTV. Yes.
All right, that is Akelo Misori, the Secretary General, like I had said, of the Kenya Union of Post-Primary Education, that is KUPPET. We are taking another short break at this point. Of course, we are coming back with more stories, including the developments from Shakahola. So stay with us.
Are you an aspiring media practitioner, a graduate, or you just want to advance your skills in television production? Then welcome to Kenyatta University, where education meets innovation. KUTV, the premier university television station in Kenya, is now offering short courses in TV studio, field technical operations, and video editing. Through these courses, you will acquire hands-on skills on camera operations, media production, lighting techniques, audiovisual editing, and sound and visual control, and how to operate key equipment in modern TV control room. Enroll today at KUTV and discover your full potential in cutting-edge TV broadcasting. Graduates of these courses will receive professional certificates. For more information, visit our offices at KUTV Studios or call us on 020-870-4252 or 020-870-4255 or SMS us on 0739-110-544. KUTV, a new experience.
Focus on Health is a show that creates awareness on matters health and informs you on various diseases, their causes, treatment, prevention, coping, and support. So join me, Bwari Michelle, every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. only on KUTV. You can also follow us on our social media platforms at KUTV Focus on Health on Facebook and also on YouTube, and Health Focus on Instagram, because your health is your wealth. Stay safe and stay healthy.
Adventures across the African continent.
See breathtaking wildlife, stunning landscapes,
and out of this world technologies.
Meet incredible scientists
and learn fantastic facts.
Explore, discover, be amazed.
Be part of the next generation of African change makers.
Be a part of Engine, Africa's #1 science discovery program. Yay! Yay!
We're learning every day. Let's go. Engine leads the way.
Technology, science, innovation, ICT and research. These are the ingredients upon which the solutions to the 21st century problems are founded. In a world that is rapidly changing, it's all hands on deck to ensure a balance in all fields of life. Women, young and old, are also in the front line, breaking the glass ceiling, becoming thought leaders in the larger tech space. Not forgetting other societies marginalized. And when the tech Avengers come together, we inch closer to a much safer, efficient, and sustainable world. What we view as a norm in today's advanced world was just an idea, and for nostalgic reasons, we trace back to the iconic days to bring you the retro tech. On Tech Innovation Show, we encapsulate all the pillars of the fourth industrial revolution, decoded in a language, all for one for all. Every Monday at 8:30 as we push the mantra, keep learning something new each and every day. Only on KUTV, a new experience.
Kurunzi ya kilimo huimarisha afya na uchumi endelevu katika jamii. Ni msingi mkubwa wa kipindi Boresha Kilimo. Kipindi hiki kinajikita katika teknolojia ya kisasa, utafiti na ushirikishaji wa wadau wa kilimo kuonyesha shughuli mbalimbali shambani. Kwa suluhu ya utoshelevu wa chakula, tazama Boresha Kilimo.
Are you an aspiring media practitioner, a graduate, or you just want to advance your skills in television production? Then welcome to Kenyatta University, where education meets innovation. KUTV, the premier university television station in Kenya, is now offering short courses in TV studio, field technical operations, and video editing. Through these courses, you will acquire hands-on skills on camera operations, media production, lighting techniques, audiovisual editing, and sound and visual control, and how to operate key equipment in modern TV control room. Enroll today at KUTV and discover your full potential in cutting-edge TV broadcasting. Graduates of these courses will receive professional certificates. For more information, visit our offices at KUTV Studios or call us on 020-870-4252 or 020-870-4255 or SMS us on 0739-110-544. KUTV, a new experience.
Right, welcome back. Thank you for being here. Let's continue with our coverage. Now, the National Police Service has today released a statement terming the upcoming Azimio One Kenya coalition protest as unlawful. In the statement written by Deputy Inspector General of Police Nor Gabo, the commission says that the Azimio One Kenya coalition led violent protest, which resulted to wanton destruction of property, arson, robbery, looting, injuries to officers, and even death to a police officer, a phenomenon that it says should not continue. The statement also says that in the interest of the national security, NPS wishes to notify the public that the planned demonstration or assembly is unlawful and affirm earlier statements condemning violent protests and the public attacks on law enforcement officers on duty. Now, a post-mortem done on 10 bodies, that is 8 children and 2 adults, exhumed at the Shakahola forest, led by government pathologist Johansen Oduor, are said to show signs of starvation, but 2 of them had cyanosis, which means they could have been suffocated to death. The bodies belong to followers of controversial Pastor Mackenzie of the Good News International Church.
The government has conducted a post-mortem on 10 bodies exhumed from the Shakahola forest, believed to be followers of the controversial Pastor Paul Mackenzie. The exercise is being conducted by a combined team of government pathologists led by Johansen Oduor, detectives from the homicide unit, forensic unit, and government chemists, among others. Oduor says that all bodies showed signs of starvation, but revealed that 2 of them indicated they had cyanosis, which is the blue discoloration of fingers which could have been caused by asphyxiation, which means they could have been suffocated to death.
We saw features of people who have not eaten. There was no food in the stomach. The layer of fat was very small. The liver was fatty. These are things we look for in people with starvation.
The government pathologist said that all the internal body organs were intact in the bodies of those who underwent the post-mortem. He also added that they had to conduct an X-ray to estimate the ages of the victims.
We decided that we have to do X-ray on bodies of everyone for the purpose of age estimation. Remember, many of those were children. We needed to know their ages, so that's why we took some time.
He further said that the body they conducted post-mortem on, 1 body was of a female adult and the rest were children aged from 1.5 years to 10 years, stating that most had features of starvation.
We only managed to do 10 postmortems. Of these 10 postmortems, the 1 body was of an adult female and the rest were children. These children's ages were varying from 1.5 years to 10 years. Generally, most of them had features of starvation.
The pathologist cited that from Tuesday they will begin the other post-mortem, which will be faster considering that they have already set up the X-ray. Samples of the autopsies were taken for further testing for DNA identification.
So those are the autopsies we've done. We have taken samples for further tests, which include toxicology and DNA for the purpose of identification. Tomorrow we are going to start the other process, which we know that will be more seamless because already the X-ray has been set up, so that we'll be able to do more tomorrow.
Interior CS Kidure Kindiki in the morning said that the process could take 1 week and the other one for the DNA up to 1 month. So far, 110 bodies have been exhumed and the operation is going on in Shakahola forest using technology and area surveillance. Ruth Wanjiru for KUTV.
Now, Azimio Party leader Raila Odinga has claimed that President William Ruto does not have the power to create a judicial commission of inquiry to investigate the Shakahola massacre as per the Constitution. This follows President William Ruto's statement to create a judicial commission of inquiry to investigate the Shakahola mass killings.
Amidst the ongoing investigations on the Shakahola massacre, Azimio Party leader Raila Odinga says that Ruto announcement to create a judicial commission to investigate the Shakahola massacre is one of the problems the country is facing with the Kenya Kwanza regime.
Ruto's announcement on Shakahola underscores part of the problem we are facing as a country with the Kenya Kwanza regime.
Odinga claimed that President William Ruto lacks the power to propose creation of a judicial commission of inquiry to prove the death of Shakahola victims because it has been unconstitutional since 2010 and he is undermining the constitution.
Ruto does not seem to know that the concept of a judicial commission of inquiry appointed by a president is unconstitutional in Kenya since the year 2010.
So far, 110 bodies have been exhumed from Shakahola, with police holding the controversial preacher as investigations on the mass killings continue. Salma Swaleh, KUTV.
Police in Garissa have confirmed that 4 men were arrested on Sunday while carrying 4 rifles, 19 magazines and 500 bullets are not terrorists but members of the National Police Reserve based at the Kenya-Somali border in Wajir County. A senior police officer said they have been helping local police in detecting and fighting Al-Shabaab militants who cross from Somalia for a mission. Beryl Chelagat with that story.
4 men who were arrested on Sunday after a tip-off from the public have today been confirmed as members of the National Police Reserve and not terrorists. Report shows that the 4 traveled to Garissa without notifying the local security teams. Addressing the press after the incident, Garissa County Police Commander Thomas Ngeiwa said that they got a tip-off that the suspects were dressed in police uniform and were terrorizing residents in the area.
Like 30 hours, we received information from our officers that while they were on their normal patrols along Nono area, they got information that there were some people dressed in security attire terrorizing members of public along those cut lines.
He also noted that they were able to recover 4 firearms, 19 rifle magazines, 543 rounds of ammunition, and several mobile phones from the suspects who were using a Toyota Probox.
Managed to spot a Probox vehicle which had 4 occupants. On further interrogation, they discovered that each of the 4 occupants had an AK-47 with 5 rounds, with 5 magazines, each with AK-47 rifle, and each rifle had 5 magazines loaded with a lot of ammunition.
He commended the residents for being on the lookout as the county and its neighboring areas are more often attacked by terrorists.
We want to commend members of the public for volunteering the information which led to the recovery of what you have seen here.
This comes amid heightened security following that Al-Shabaab terrorists have been attacking places in the region, especially in Mandera and Garissa counties, which have left dozens of civilians and security officials dead and wounded. Beryl Rotich, KUTV.
All right, now former Antu Betwe Kiongo MCA George Kaliunga has been killed in a suspected banditry attack in Meru County. Kiongo was pronounced dead on arrival at Maua Hospital on Sunday evening after he was shot in the chest. The late MCA had accompanied police officers who went after his 71 stolen livestock in the ward that is in the Igembe South constituency where he met his untimely death. All right, now water consumers in Embu County have strongly decried high water tariffs following a move by the Water Regulatory Authority to implement a section of the Act that was passed in 2021 from 250 Kenya shillings to 600 Kenya shillings during the annual meeting attended in Itabwa Muthatari Water Society in Embu County.
Water Regulatory Authority to put a section of the Act that was passed in 2021, Embu residents have decried high water tariffs. Members of the Itambua Mutadhari Water Society, which was founded in 1993, complained about the increase from 50 cents to 5 shillings per cubic meter of water, which they say is 900%, which is not affordable in the current economic times.
Tunaitisha usaidizi kama mimi niko na watoto shule. Sasa hiyo maji imesemekana mambo ya kuongezewa pesa shilingi 600, mimi sitaweza. Na nimesema kwa niaba ya kila mtu kwa hiyo kijiji yangu.
Manyata MP Gitonga Mukonji, who was addressing the members of the society, said that he will initiate a motion in parliament on why the Water Regulatory Authority did not issue public presentation as required by law.
Ya pili nataka kujua timeline yake ya kufanya ile kazi. Already contract yake I know ame-extend. Si ni kweli? Anafaa kuwa amemaliza. Kwa hivyo nitakuwa hapo nikiuliza maswali ambayo itaweza kupea direction hii mradi yetu.
The members have lamented that the constructor expanding the water project has abandoned it, and the residents are now calling on government intervention. Edward Nyamo, KUTV.
All right, that brings us to the end of our bulletin tonight. Many thanks indeed for choosing to stay with KUTV Primetime News this evening. Be sure to join me again tomorrow, inshallah, for a conversation with the Salary and Remuneration Commission. Send in your questions to us on that particular discussion. My name is ODIDA. I'm in the company of Samuel Kelo, who is a sign language interpreter tonight. Have a good night and see you tomorrow.